Why did red, blue, green use nicotine patches to fix his engine transmission slip? Why did red, blue, green? Why red, blue, green? It's easy to remember. Why red, blue, green? And if you're colorblind, that's okay because I thought about you ahead of time and I designed the cards so that they won't keep you from enjoying them. Right here is a red line that is different from these blue ones, and that indicates the top. And it's all the same, and every card is going to be the same. If it's green, it's always going to be on the same green line. Every card is exactly the same like that. It's consistent. And there is nowhere where you're going to find an upside down one, but my son Kai was interested in what if that were to be, and we talked about all of that, and I decided that we would have no cards like that unless we were going to talk about it at the time. I want everyone to be able to use them whether or not they can see the colors. And what I was supposing that me and my son do with these cards, when I asked him if he wanted me to make the deck for him, was I didn't even know what we were going to do. I just remember that I liked laying them down when I was a kid and seeing things that were similar and different and doing making sets. So we played it in a competition with other kids. We all had these cards, and we also had a bunch of dice. We had ones with colors on them, these colors. We had a few numerals, like 1 through 6, or maybe 1 through 3. We had numerals. We also had operators, such as intersect, union, minus, and complement. And that might have been it. And so then we also had a piece of paper that had 3 categories: required, permitted, and forbidden. And there was just sort of a game you could play, and the best fan wins. You try to make it impossible for the other person to have have yours, and you hope that yours is more cunning. And it's just another way of representing what the set is. So you can have like a goal of your goal is to make the number 23 out of these cards, and you have like 6 cards, and so you have to say like 4 red. You have 4 red multiplied by 4 blue plus the whole set, or I don't know. There's like a bunch of ways you can do it, and everyone's gonna guarantee you, or I guarantee anyone who you ask about this isn't gonna really remember the rules per se, like as if they were from beginning to end, because they were never written down. They were passed down to us after school in an after-school program. That was it was the University of Michigan. They were researching elementary school students to see how well we could understand and grasp propositional calculus, and so they were doing a test on us. So the people who came to the schools, they were from the University of Michigan, mathletes, and they would just start writing stuff on the board, and you never had notes you took home. Everything was like, once the paper had been written on, it was like worthless. You just throw it away. And that's kind of how I still play things today, is like, I have a brick, 500 pages of paper in my bag, just untouched, it's gold, but if I were to write things on it, I would just have to discard it. It's worthless now. And that was the same thing, it's like, once you wrote something down, it was kind of just like, but we played in 2 or 3 player games, and it was around the country. I went to South Carolina, and I also went to Louisiana, 2 different years, and it was paid for by the department, or to Michigan Public Schools paid for it. My public schools paid for so you get fucking awesome, like 7 to 10 days, resort, play games, get ranked, there's something special about you. I actually placed in president's trivia. I think I was number 148 on the board. So that was my. I wasn't so good at these games. Like I wasn't old enough to be really set apart. I just actually knew like one or two tricks, and they told me, you're not going to be competitive like that for very long. And I'm like, I know, I just don't really care. And but then I transferred schools and I lost the program. I would have loved to have stayed with it, but I made a mistake. Mistakes led me away from them. The students that continued from elementary school and finished this, went to college. It was all expenses paid, University of Michigan, guaranteed admissions, all that shit. That could have been mine. I didn't even have to do anything. I didn't even have to do good in school. But then I just stopped doing it for like no reason. It was just like a real bummer. But I'm an interesting case of like someone who has pondered the games but has been separate from them from a long time. Now I'm coming back and I have a lot of peers who know these cards. And I wonder how we've all, because I can't imagine any one of us not wanting to pass this on to our kids. Like, this game, I don't really even understand how I knew what to do, but I want to share it with you. And like the whole attempt is like trying to figure it out. I've tried to share it with many people over the years, and my son came to me and said, I want to have something that we do together. Like, can you think of one thing that you just want to share with me? Because I know you've had a lot of life, and like if I could actually figure out how to teach this, get this game into like someone else and we could play it together, I thought that would be the best. So we could experiment with that. Lo and behold, these cards broke open the Canuck's brain. When he wanted them so bad, he would have done anything. And it's funny because, yeah, that's what he's always trying to. He doesn't want you to do commodities buying. Well, actually, I think the commodities buying is great. It just tells him when what to see. Like, don't hold back. If you want something bad right now, and it's $1 today and it's $1 million tomorrow. I mean, we're all interested to see how bad you're willing to pay for something. That's the name of the game. It's like, we're not interested to see how much self-control you have, but like, how actually important is it that you have this today? Because what do you know that we don't know? We're not assuming you're stupid or you're so impulsive that you can't control yourself. And now we're all curious. Right, so everyone's curious. This became a major problem. I think he almost divorced the missus, and now she's retired because of this, because of her inability to take seriously the need for this at the very, very first moment. And that's personal business, and it's personal private business that I unfortunately had to be witness to. So now I'm telling you, it was ugly. It was really ugly. You don't want to be the person not appreciating the Canucks need for these cards. And he was right, though. Like, at the end of the day, he really was right. He wants these cards in the hands of every single family in Canada and beyond. He sees that this is more than just a few index cards and colors. This is the thing that he lost all reason for, supposedly. But no, I mean, this is it. So what I think is happening is that when you time travel, there are yellow, red, blue, and green, and I think that sometimes you can end up with just blue, and then what does that mean? In these sets, they're showing us fractional probable realities, given that it's a flat Earth. Sorry, everybody, flat Earth, an infinitum of flat dimensions that we were all in, and we're all split up into pieces, and we didn't even realize that we're not in all of them. We all used to be in all of them. Now we're all like in some weird like collection of flat planes in a circle. We're broken into pieces, and you can't actually put yourself back together without mapping where you are, and that's what this will do. Consider a pistol. Shoot a pistol. You recognize it. I've got 14 slugs. I put one in the chamber. If I live 14 times, I'm going to hit you with 6. What does that actually mean? Consider Russian kids who play Russian roulette. May or may not be closer to this than anybody. When you shoot a pistol, there are a lot of different potential things that could happen versus different types of guns that don't have that spiraling bullet trajectory. And then the Ford. And we all know that when you you corner in your Ford, if you shift during that cornering, you are splitting the time-space continuum into at least 2 pieces. How do you feel about that? My Volkswagen doesn't, because it's the warranty, like they promise when you buy it. It's 100% engine transmission work together, but when you have that error and you're slipping, then your time of no traction, your vehicle will go off in one direction. For some reason, you've just never witnessed it. You've never witnessed it. You've always been in the vehicle going around the curve, shifting, losing traction, but continuing, drawn by angels around the curve. How many of you did you split apart from and leave behind every time you just didn't follow warranty? Follow that forward. I mean, we learn it. I mean, Amazon drivers too. Amazon drivers are going to be the biggest people to be able to show us this, because we have it, when you corner and you shift like that, or a corner, it makes a video of it. And I'd really like to see all the videos of every time those vehicles shifted around a corner versus didn't. And when you don't, it's $50 bonus. $50 bonus. This is too much. I had a 5-cylinder engine, Ford Econoline 5-cylinder engine. My first vehicle I bought, $1,500. I offered him $1,000. He goes, I'm not even gonna. I actually didn't want to sell it, and now that you do that, I'm taking it off the market and I'm just gonna keep it. I was like, no, please. I'm sorry, I'll give you $1,500. I'll give you $1,700. I'm sorry. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna give it to you because you're 17 and you're stupid, and you took that guy's advice. But yeah, it's a really great vehicle, but it's got those 5 cylinders, and it's like owning a pistol. Owning a 5-cylinder Ford is just the same idea. Okay?